Everybody, so we want to follow our steps today when graphing. So the first step is we want to identify what is our slope. If there's nothing there, just draw in a 1. So in this case, we're going to have an m of -1. Second step is identify our b value, which we're going to see that b is right here. And again, keep the sign with it for -2. And then our third step is going to be a solid line. And we're going to be shading below because we have that less than or equal to symbol. So start off at -2, and then a slope of -1 means we're going to go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, and then it is a solid line that we're going to be drawing through this. And then it is shaded below, so draw little arrows for below. So for here, our shaded region is everything that's below this line. For number 2, very similar example. We have our M and our B, so we just want to make sure that those are very clear. And then for our third step here, again, it's going to be solid. This time we are going to be above because we have the greater than symbol. So starting off at +2. And again, a negative slope this time is going down 5 and over 1. And connecting the dots through our line. And then above means that we are at every point going above this line. So our third question is actually asking us to put all of this together. So what you're going to notice, -x minus 2, we've already graphed. And -5x plus 2, we've also already graphed. So our job now is to just do this all at the same time. So we do want to follow the exact same steps as before. We are shading above on this one. The only difference is we are not going to shade right away. We are going to wait until both functions are graphed before we start shading. So what we are looking for in this shading is the region where both of these graphs come together, where both arrows are pointed at each other. And the only place where we see that is actually right here. You can see these two arrows come together. So this is our shaded region, just that little yellow sliver on the bottom. That's the only thing we want to shade here. We do not want to shade anything more. The last graph is a trick question, and I will pull one of these on the quiz, so just something we want to be careful about. If you want to graph, it does have to be in y by itself on one side form, y equals mx plus b form. So we have to do, before we graph, is move our 4x over. And what that's going to do is put y by itself on one side. So once y is by itself, then and only then can we identify m, b in our shading. This one's going to be below, and it's going to be dashed. And again, there's only one graph here, which means we are good to shade right away. If there were two, we'd have to wait before we start to shade. Hopefully that helps. You're going to see 2 examples where you graph one line and 2 examples where you have to graph 2 lines on the same graph for your skill check. You will see one example where y is not by itself, so be careful of that. Otherwise, pretty straightforward examples today.